Good evening, everyone. Hello. Hi. Welcome to Willingness Wednesday. Hello, everyone. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited to be here because I'm always excited to be here. I look forward to always coming here on Wednesday nights to meet with you and just give you some of the information that I am finding out and learning about. And I'm just so intrigued by Deepak Chopra, and that's what we're talking about tonight. Deepak has a book, and this book is called The Seven Spiritual Laws for Success. And so far, we have tackled four of those spiritual laws. And today, we are going to tackle law number five. Law number five is called the law of intention and desires. Ooh, that sounds so exciting, Coach. Okay, but before I get any further, I want to just first say, if you are new, I want to say welcome, welcome, welcome. You are welcome here. This is indeed a safe place. And if you are returning, I want to say thank you so much. You know, I could not do this without your love and support. Thank you so much for continuing to meet me here each week to talk about things that are not necessarily average conversation. You're not going to learn this stuff in class, and you're definitely not going to be talking about it in most circles at dinner time. We come here each week to talk about these wonderful concepts and principles that allow us to embrace ourselves in our totality, the multi-dimensional spiritual beings that we are. And Deepak does it so well. And thank you so much for your loyalty and your support. I am so honored to be your coach. Thank you for meeting me here again tonight. Okay, so I guess we can go ahead and just jump on in. I have so much information for you tonight. And as you know, I'm feeling a little festive today. I figured, you know what? It's the holiday season. Why not dress up and be a little festive? So that's what I got for you tonight. Okay, I digress. As we move forward, let's go on and talk about this spiritual law of intentions and desires. Now, of course, nobody memorizes Deepak, so there's so much information here. I'm going to be reading from my computer screen and back on here, but I will definitely keep you engaged. I promise to keep you engaged. Okay, let's jump right on in. Now, the law of attention and desire, this law is based on the fact that energy and information exist everywhere in nature, right? What Deepak says that our quantum field, now let me explain to you what the quantum field is, because you're going to be hearing it throughout this segment tonight, and I want you to understand exactly what that means. The quantum field is your spirit nature. It is your spiritual body. There's also a quantum field in the universe. And so we as spiritual beings connect our quantum energy to the same exact quantum energy that is in nature. We are connected to nature through our quantum energy, okay? Quantum energy is just another fancy word for our total consciousness. Total consciousness is another way of saying pure potentiality. And if you've been following, then you know that the pure potentiality is the essence of who you are as a spiritual being. Okay? All right. Sounds like we're on the same page now. And you know I like to be on the same page. All right. So as I was saying, according to Deepak, pure consciousness is our intrinsic nature, pure potentiality, which is the spirit form of who we are. It is our essence, okay? And in this quantum field is influenced by intention and desire. Now let's examine the process in details. A flower, a rainbow, a tree, a blade of grass, the human body, when broken down to their essential components, are energy and information. Now, the whole universe and its essential nature is the movement of energy and information. That's what we do as spiritual beings. That's how we connect with nature, through our spiritual, the quantum nature of who we are, our spiritual selves, right? That's how we connect with nature and the world at large. Now, in fact, trees and humans, okay, listen to this. Deepak is so deep. He says, in fact, you and the tree, right? We're no different than the tree because we are constantly exchanging our carbon and our oxygen with each other. The tree is made up of carbon and oxygen. We are made up of carbon and oxygen. And together we help each other maintain. The carbon that comes from me goes to the tree. The oxygen that comes from the tree comes to me. And so that's how we are connected. And the only difference between me and the tree, you and the tree, you and nature, is the content of the energy and the content of the information. Other than that, our energy sources are the same. We all come from the greatest creator of all time, the only creator, right? We all come from the creator, and he created us equally in terms of what we're made of, in our spiritual nature, and the spiritual nature of the universe are the same, except that we have a physical body that harnesses our spiritual nature. Okay. And the tree has a body that harnesses its spiritual nature as well. Okay. So now Deepak says that because we are such a privileged species, we have a nervous system that is capable of becoming aware of the energy and information and content of the localized field that gives rise to our physical body. What Deepak is trying to help us to understand is that the same quantum field that we experience in our thoughts, our feelings and emotions and desires subjectively, which means on the inside, right, is the same experience that we experience objectively, which is on our outside through our physical body. Deepak is trying to help us to understand that through our physical bodies, we are connected to the physical world. Wow. Isn't that just awesome? It just gives me such a warm feeling to know that I am connected to the physical realm through my body, and I am connected to the spiritual realm through my spirit, right? I want you guys to get this. You just have to get this, because I want you to be able to experience the same freedom, the same understanding of who you are, so that you don't have to be worried about how other people see you. You do not have to view yourself through the lenses of other people when you know who you are. And so that's what I'm doing tonight. I'm helping you to understand who you are. And if you want to understand more about that, all you have to do is call me, because I'm your coach. And you can reach me at 317-721-4315. Or you can email me at b.vonsquires@gmail.com. All right, let's keep it moving. Talking about the spiritual law of intention and desire tonight. So let's keep it moving. So what Deepak says is that because we are connected to the quantum field, which is the universal spiritual nature, right? The universal spiritual field. And because we are connected to it, it's like it is the larger, and then we are inside of it. We are like a little wiggle. We're like a wave of fluctuation, the convulsion, it says, and a tide, a whirlpool, and a localized disturbance in the larger quantum field. So we are the smaller quantum field, and then we are connected into the larger quantum field of the universe, okay? So just want to help you understand now. Deepak speaks about two qualities inherent to consciousness. He talks about attention with an A, attention, right? And intention with an I. So let's listen to what he has to say here. Deepak says, attention energizes and intention transforms. Ooh, what does that mean, coach? I know, right? I was like, Deepak, slow down. What are you talking about? But thank God, for my connection with the Creator. Through my prayer and meditation, God really helped me understand exactly what it is that Deepak is trying to say. And I'm so honored to be able to explain all of this to you tonight. So don't fret. I'm giving you everything that you need in order to apply and understand the spiritual law of intentions and desires. Now, so we talked about attention energizes and intention transforms. Whatever you put your attention on will grow stronger in your life. So if you do not want something in your life, your best bet is not to give it your attention with an A, attention. Because when you give it your attention, it will grow and become stronger in your life. So if there's something you don't want, you know what it is you don't want in your life. You know what it is. If you are frustrated about something, try to think about the gratitude of the situation. Try to flip that perspective around so that you can have a positive perspective and give your attention to the solution so that you can have more of a solution in your life as to having a problem in your life. Who needs more problems, right? Well, keep listening because I'm going to tell you all about how you can apply these principles to your life, okay? Now, listen to this. Whatever you take your attention away from will wither, disintegrate, and disappear. There you go. Flip it around, find that solution, find that positive way of looking at it, and give your attention to that so that you have more of that growing in your life. Now, intention with an I, all right, on the other hand, it triggers transformation of energy and information. Intention is the real power behind desire. It actually desire without the attachment to the outcome. Now, see, I didn't understand all of this, but I knew that intentions were really powerful because I've heard all the time, Abraham Hicks and some of these other people who speak about manifesting and all of those sorts of things always talk about your intention. Set your intention for today. What is it that you would like to have happen today? You want to be happy, joyous, and free? Well, set your intention so that you can bring those things into your life. Now, setting an intention is something like, I will not take anything personal that happens today. No matter what happens today, it's not about me. I will stay in my lane. I will stay in my maintained, managed emotions, and I will respond appropriately rather than react. Now, that is an intention, right? And so the intention is what we lead with, and we don't worry about the outcome, right? We just make sure that we're on this side of the outcome doing our part. And as long as we're doing our part, then the outcome is going to be whatever it is intended to be, whatever it is supposed to be. You're going to get what you have intended for as long as you do not focus your energy on the outcome. Just focus your energy on the intention so that it can grow in your life, okay? Now, the quality of intention on the object of attention will orchestrate an infinitely space-time event to bring about the outcome intended, provided one follows the other spiritual laws of success. What Deepak is trying to tell us here is that if we can keep our attention on our intentions, then we do not have to worry about how things are going to transpire. As long as our intention is set, and as long as that's where we're giving our energy to, everything else, the space-time events are those things that happen in the spiritual realm that bring about those things that we're trying to manifest into our lives, right? So we cannot control space-time events. However, when we set our intentions and we feed that intention, that is giving energy to the space-time events. It's allowing the space for those space-time events to actually take place and then manifest into our lives, okay? Ooh, this is so deep. I'm just loving all of this. Thanks, Deepak. Okay, now, Deepak says that because intention on the fertile ground of attention has infinite organizing power. The infinite organizing power means the power to organize infinite space-time events. We just talked about those space-time events. Those are things that happen in the spiritual realm. Those are things that God brings about. He is the one that has the power to bring those things about. But we as co-creators can also share in that through our intentions and putting them in the right place. Okay? Now, what is remarkable about our nervous system of the human species is that it can command the infinite organizing power through conscious intent. Now we're talking about manifesting. That's how we manifest those great, wonderful things into our lives. Those wonderful relationships, that new job, that new house. I don't care what it is. You can manifest those things in your life as long as your intentions and all your energy is going into the universe where it belongs. Okay. Now, what else do I want to tell you now? Intention grounded in the detached freedom of the present serves as the catalyst for the right mix of energy and space time events to create whatever it is that we desire. Oh my goodness. What are you telling me, Deepak? That all I have to do is just send my intentions out there and then follow a few steps to back it up, to exercise my faith? And then I'm going to manifest some things in my life. Oh my goodness. Yes, that's exactly what he is saying. And I believe it. And so, right now, as we move forward, I'm getting ready to give you the how of it all. I've already given you the who, which is you. I've given you the what, which is the spiritual law of intentions and desires. And now I'm giving you the how. I also gave you the why. Sorry. I gave you the why. The why is so that you can manifest these wonderful things in your life, so that you can use your energy field to bring about the things that you want to manifest and in your life through intentions and attention. Okay, so now we're going to learn about how to harness the power of intention so you can create anything you desire. Intention generates its own power when you follow the following 5 fulfilling steps to your desires. Okay. Step 1, we're going to slip into the gap. Now, if I don't know if you were on the first session that we talked about, but it's always available to you. You can go back and take a look at that. But we talked about the gap. Now, the gap is that quiet place in our spirit. The gap is that quiet place in our consciousness between our thoughts. And that's why it's so important to think what we're talking about, to be in our consciousness, because see, that is how we can access the gap. And in that gap is our pure potentiality. In that gap is that quiet place where our spirit lives, where our knowledge, right? That infinite spiritual knowledge is in the gap. In the gap is that quiet place where we can connect to the universe, where we can connect to our higher source, right? Is in the gap. So, number 1, we're going to slip into the gap. This means to center yourself in the silent space between your thoughts, okay? So that the level of your being is in its essential state, which is pure consciousness, which is pure potentiality, which is your intrinsic nature as a spiritual being. Okay. Now, number two, established in the state of being relaxed in your intentions and desires. Okay. So, what it's saying here is we want to relax in our intentions and desires. We want to detach from the outcomes, right? We don't have anything to do with the outcomes. We have nothing to do with that part. Our job is on the front end with the intentions and the attention, okay? Not the outcomes. That is God's business. We want to stay out of God's business, right? Number 3, remain in the state of self-referral. Oh, this is so important. If you don't get anything else tonight, I want you to understand how important it is to remain in the state of self-referral. What this means is that you are looking inward to your spirit for your identity. This means that you maintain the established awareness of your true self, of your spirit, of your intrinsic nature. You are connected to the field of pure potentiality when you are able to maintain a level of self-referral, because you're, like I said, pure potentiality is your spiritual nature. And so that's where your self referral needs to be, as opposed to object referral. Object referral, like we talked about last week, object referral is when we're looking to people, places, circumstances, and events to identify who we are. We're looking to them for our validation. Those things that are not lasting. We cannot afford to have objective referral, because we get lost in that and lost in the ego and so far away from our intrinsic nature, which is in the self referral. Okay. Now, listen to this. He says here, not look at yourself through the eyes of the world, therefore not to be influenced by the opinions, criticisms, or judgments of others. This is a very helpful way to maintain a self-referral. It's also to keep your desires to yourself. You know those naysayers out there, they're either going to be afraid for you, they're going to be jealous of you, something. Keep that stuff to yourself, because any energy outside of what you can create through your pure potentiality connected to the quantum field, that's where you need to be. And anyone who is not thinking along those lines, they might be a deterrent. They might be a stumbling block to where you are trying to go. They might be, that voice of negativity, bringing that low vibrational thought process and all of those low vibrational feelings of insecurity, inadequacy, all of those things. People can bring that to your life. You got to be really careful about who you listen to, what you listen to, what you watch. These are your gates, and we have to make sure that we are protecting our gates so that we can operate in our highest level of potential through our spiritual nature. Okay, we want to make sure that we do that as well. Now, here we go. Relinquish your attachment to the outcome. When you are so attached to the outcome, it's really easy for you to start doing things on this side of the outcome that aren't quite natural. You know what I'm saying? You're doing things on this side of the outcome based on what you're trying to gain. Whereas that is not how you want to operate. You want to operate just on this side from just the pure self-referral, just from your intentions alone. Your intentions, not how you're going to get there, not how it's going to work out. You don't need any of those details. All of those details are being worked out in the space-time events. When you let go of the outcome, you give the universe and God an opportunity to bring things about in space-time so that they can manifest into your life. So we need to make sure that we let go of those outcomes, right? Now, number 5, let the universe handle the details. That's exactly what I was just saying. Let the universe handle the details. And the intention, when released in the gap, we talked about the gap, right, has infinite organizing power. Woo! You mean to tell me that if I take my intentions and I go to that quiet place within my spirit and I say, God, please, this is what I'd like to have. I want to do your will. These are the things these are the desires of my heart, and just leave them there. All I have to do is just leave them there, and everything else, all the details are worked out in space-time events. Oh my goodness. It couldn't be any easier. It couldn't be. All of this energy that we're running around exerting is not necessarily getting us any closer to where we want to be. And it's because we are trying to fix the situation, manage the situation, control the situation. And that's not our job. That's the universe's job. That's God's job to do that, right? Okay, so now I'm going to tell you about how to apply the law of intention and desire. Now, to put the law of intention and desire into effect, you have to commit to the following steps. Number 1, you will make a list of your desires, right? If you don't know what they are, how are you going to actually add some intention to them? How are you going to have them manifested and fulfilled in your life if you don't know what they are? And do not feel guilty about having desires. You deserve to have desires. God placed those desires within you so that he can fulfill them for you, so you can see how magnanimous he is and how much he loves you and wants the best for you. So, number one, you're going to write down those desires. You're going to carry that list with you wherever you go. You're going to look at the list before you go to bed. You're going to, in your silent meditation, you're going to look at that list when you wake up in the morning. You're going to set your intentions so that the space-time events can take place to bring those desires into your life, right? Number two, you are going to release the list of desires and surrender it to the womb of creation. Oh my gosh, that's so creative. It sounds so wonderful. I love the way he said that. The womb of creation. Trusting that when things don't seem to go your way, there's a reason. There's a reason. And the cosmic plan is designed for your highest good. So if things don't go your way, that's because it did not promote your highest good. You need to be grateful. When things don't go your way, how about a thank you, God? How about a hallelujah? How about, I'm grateful that that didn't happen because it did not lead me to my highest good. And when you can learn to start looking at things from that type of perspective, you'll have a lot more peace in your life. And you won't have to expend your energy trying to make it happen, trying to make it work when it wasn't meant to from the beginning. Okay? So number three, today, you will remain established in self-referral. That is so huge. That is such a sizable thing to think about, right? Remaining established in self-referral and not allowing object referral to influence you as an individual. You are immune to criticism. You have no way that anyone else's judgment can have a part in your life when you are in self-referral. You don't back down from challenges because you know who you are. You know what you're made of, and you know how powerful you are as a spiritual being, right? And so you will not be influenced by the opinions and criticisms of the world. You will not look at yourself through the eyes of others. And if you can apply these principles and concepts to your life, then you are well on your way to having the benefits of the spiritual law of intentions and desires manifesting in your life. Well, guys, that was a lot of information, such wonderful information. I feel so good about being able to bring that to you. I love it when I can share information with you that could possibly help you go to another place in your existence. I know it has helped me. And I tell you what, if you've heard something tonight that has sparked your interest, that has given you a new perspective, then why not like, share, and subscribe with your friends in your network? That way they have the same opportunity to this great, wonderful, powerful information that you do, and that they can get their lives on point just like you're going to get yours on point. Not that it's not, these are just perspectives, just something else to kind of give you something to think about, because no one knows everything. So I am so happy. Thank you so much for meeting me here again. And I will look forward to meeting you next week right here on Willingness Wednesday at 7:15 p.m. But in the meantime, I'm going to ask God to bless you real good. And I tell you what, if you want to learn more about Deepak's spiritual laws of success, go back and listen to them. I have them all saved. They're on YouTube. They're on Facebook. You can find them and listen to them so that you can apply these spiritual principles and these concepts to your life. In the meantime, I'm going to be praying for you. And I love you so much. And thank you again for allowing me to be your coach. I'll see you next week right here on Willingness Wednesday. Bye-bye.